Welcome to Find You Fridays with me, Lorene. How are you? Oh my goodness. Life is grand. Even grander when that sort of stuff crops up. That's even better. So let me just... Hey, Melinda. Oh my God. Oh, we're having all the fun and games. Ooh. Okay. Cool, that's that done. Sweet, now I can focus on you beautiful ones. Yay! Yay. So I am doing okay after this week. I don't know. How have you all been? How have you coped? It was rough. I'm grateful for the weekly reading that we did last week, because it gave me a lot of prep and moments to just be on, like, not on guard, but just aware of what was coming up. So hello, Edwina. Hello. So for example, there was some conversations that happened for Alex and I this morning, and it ended up being a lot of inner child stuff around dieting and food, actually. And then that's where it started from. And then it actually moved into childhood trauma as such around celebrations. So things like birthday parties and things like that for both of us, actually. Something would always go wrong. Big celebrations, there would be, either something with our own personal health or events around us that would just make things go absolutely terrible. There was always something that went wrong. And so for both of us, we sort of have ended up having this interesting point of view of not only around that, but when something is going really well in our lives, it's almost like we have this subconscious, unconscious storyline running of, I can't be this good for this long, for very much longer, or what's going to go wrong, and there's it seems to be that. So that was our little bit of inner child work that we had to do today, was having a look at that and going, okay, well, is that actually true? Maybe we created that slightly in our worlds. Maybe it started from a place of protection and then it just carried on, all week I have finally, mostly this week, had a week where I have been doing my favorite kind of jobs, and the whole week for a couple of different people. And throughout all of that, there was still moments where stuff was not quite right, and I'm like, oh, come on. So I was very grateful for our weekly reading, because it certainly helped me to keep finding my center. I kept having to go back, remember to breathe this week, remember to drink my water this week, remember to check in with nature, and just keep doing my practice, my daily practice of, my good morning, beautiful body practice, and my Ho'oponopono practice, and, those things in the morning, and just keep being that space of lovingness and also gratitude, huge amounts of gratitude, especially for Alex this week. There's been a couple of days where I've just been cranky, and I'm just like, it's not you that I'm cranky at. And he goes, I know. And I'm like, thank you for not taking it on board. So hopefully you guys have managed to ride the week through without it being too much of an issue. Melinda, you said it's been an interesting week. Hi, Peter. How are you going? It's certainly been good but rough, and seeing how things can get out there if we're not focused on staying really present in the now, but also being aware of all the stuff that's happening around us. I finally read that post from Alex Miles, I think is her name. Melinda shared it on her group page, and I'd seen it in a couple of other places, and I was just like, oh, all right, if I've seen it so much, I'm obviously meant to read that one. Because as you guys know, I don't follow anybody as a a reader or a medium or anything like that. I'm just, the only person I probably do follow is my beautiful soul sister Chanel. Even then, I don't always read all of her stuff around this area, but when things need to find me or require to find me, they do, and they'll keep rolling around and keep showing themselves to me till I see them. And according to Alex, this as in Alex Miles, the reader, the psychic intuitive person, she's saying that things are going to get much easier. So well done for getting through this rough week. And I'm very, very curious, hey Lynn, very, very curious to see how our weekly reading is going to go and roll for this week. I've had an absolutely beautiful online session today with an absolutely gorgeous lady over in the States, and yeah, I know, right? yeah, sometimes they do. They slap me till I read them. And then I've got another amazing session coming up on Sunday, another online session. So yay, excited for that. And tomorrow I will be doing my interview with Karen, and that will be aired next Friday. So instead of me being here with you all, I'll be having myself a little break, but Karen will be kind of hosting the show. So you'll still have us both, but when she's talking and bringing up all these different elements around galactic and evolvement and what that means for us, she'll probably be talking a bit about the DNA aspects of how we were created from a galactic point of view. There'll be some conversation around the solar flares that are coming up, the double one that's coming up soonish, and the next one that's coming up in September, and what that means for us. So there's going to be a lot of fun stuff to talk about. And the cool thing is that Karen is actually going to be live in the chat when the show is going on Friday next week. So if you have questions around what she's talking about, what we're talking about, you can pop them in the chat and she will respond to them in live time. Okay, so I feel very, very grateful to have such a wonderfully talented, knowledgeable friend and co-creator of consciousness. And yeah, so I'm looking forward to that chat tomorrow. There's just so many awesome, wonderful things happening, and I'm going to be having to put up a little poll in on my page. I won't do it till later, maybe even tomorrow. Maybe after the show. We'll see how I feel. Around a book club. So I know I've been hinting at that for a couple of months now, and I knew I was going to start it in this year, but I wasn't sure how it was going to fit in with me and my life and where all the energies and things were at, but it keeps tugging at me. So I think it's time. So there's a couple of books. There's a lot of books that I would actually love to cover. And I think at this stage, I might actually give you guys a little bit of chance to weigh in first, but I'm going to talk about that a little bit later. Okay, so yeah, I know, right? It's exciting. The last book club that I did, which was, we'll say 2020, no, 2019, coming into 2020, 2021. So it was all very high energy times, lots of change going on in the world. And we covered, I think, how many books did we cover? Gosh, quite a few. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think it was 6 or 7 books over about 18 months, a year and a half. And it was so profound for all of us. Every single one of us walked away from that feeling more empowered and more settled within ourselves. And we cleared a lot of stuff. We journeyed together. And it was just so amazing. And while I wouldn't necessarily do the same books, maybe I would, but maybe not all of them. There's certain books now that I'd really like to include in this journey that would create even more of an expansive space for us to be. So I'm still sitting and pondering with that at the moment and just seeing what response I might get if we start with this book club. So let us have a look. Oh, that's cool to hear. Lovely, Peter. That's one. She doesn't even know what book I'm doing yet. Love it. Love the enthusiasm. Who wants to come and play for the weekly reading? Oh, gosh. Oh, ooh, interesting. It does take a bit of time and preparation to be able to host or run a book club. It's not the way I ran it last time was that there was no facilitation as such from me. It was very much a sisterhood of creating a space where we could journey together. We could give our own thoughts around what we were reading, but none of us were coaches facilitating each other. Do you get what I mean? We were knowledgeable, aware people supporting each other and sharing our own things that were coming up for us and, you know, encouraging each other. But it was never about me coaching everybody else. And it worked so well. I did always come with notes and questions and things like that, just to bring forward some of the points in that particular chapter or chapters. And it was a slower journey. We would meet, initially it was once a week, and then it became once a fortnight, and that worked out rather well, because otherwise you're tying up every single day, like every single time, every single week on that day was, and I was doing the morning and night, so I could work with the people, you know, in the southern hemisphere and the northern hemisphere. So it was quite a lot of effort for me to do it. So these are all aspects that I'm having to just see if I wish to commit to that level again, or if I'm wishing to be just the one time zone, the one time slot as such. So we'll see. All right, so let's have a look at this weekly reading. What is the date's going to be? It's going to be for the 17th through to the 23rd. And you know what? And I know you're going to miss me doing a weekly reading. So what you may end up getting from me is actually a pre-recorded reading and meditation that I'll play next week too. Okay. Some treats for you all. How can we best work with these energies for the collective for this week from the 17th through to the 23rd, please? Cool. Okie dokie. Now, these are cards I don't get to use too often because they don't come out that often. So just give you a moment. Ooh, okay. Okay. All right. Hi, Anna. Lovely to have you with us. All right, so this is our weekly reading. It is using the Starseed Oracle. So by Rebecca Campbell. There we go. Beautiful. I love this box though. I don't know if you guys have got this one, but this box is so cool. It looks like this, okay? And then it has its little lid. Oops, if you got it around the right way, Lorene, goes that way. See, look at that. Isn't that cool? All right. So to start off with, we have the 7 Star Sisters, okay, which is all about birthing, creations, and tapestry of life and expressions. So given that I was just talking about the book club, and there's a couple of other things that have been popping lately, I'm guessing that for me personally, it's saying yes. This week to come is absolutely going to be so supportive of you to, if you've got those creations that are bubbling up, that keep coming around, those ideas that keep floating around, you're being well supported by the cosmos to do them, to start bringing them to life, to birth them, not just think about them, not just talk about them, but to actually do it. So that is really, really exciting to have this energies, because certainly last week it was a hold your horses, don't do fucking anything, tie yourself down, like not tie yourself down, but tie down the hatches, because there's some bloody big energies coming in and it's going to blow everything to bits. That was certainly what last week felt like. If we could have had the Tower card for the old tarot, then it probably would have shown it up, and the Death card as well. So certainly last week was a like just hold your horses, like just be gentle, be kind to yourself, because things are going to get a bit rough. This week though, first card off the ranks, it certainly sounds like things are shifting around. Then funnily enough, the next card that we've got is Whale and Orca Leaders. So Whale and Orca Leaders, share your song, frequency of sound, diving deep. So when we say song, we're also talking about whatever it is that you're creating that's going to get your voice out into the world, whether that be in written form, whether that be as art, whether that be as voice, whether it be, you know, how you interact with people, your magic. It's about not hiding anymore. So this card is definitely saying get yourself out there, do the amazing things you do, allow your voice to be seen and heard and felt, because of course sound vibration, you feel it, and just go ahead and do it. So if I needed another sign that I it's time for me to do the book club, here we go. I swear. I do ask for it to be for the collective, But of course, I'm part of the collective too. So it's really funny how these readings come out sometimes. Okay, the next card says water your garden. Nourishment, body care, tenderness, and rest. So even though you're going to be creating and getting your voice out there and things are going to be moving, please, please, please listen to your body. Listen to your body when it says, hey, we require just a little bit more rest. You know, you've been working on not enough sleep lately, or maybe you've indulged in some things that the body is like struggling to process a little bit. And maybe you require to drink a bit more water. Perhaps it's going to get a bit hot. Or if it's really, really cold where you are, perhaps you require to drink more water because it's really cold and you haven't been drinking enough. So nourish your garden, water your garden, it says. So definitely it's a water aspect. I'm also seeing this as there may be a releasing of emotions around midweek. There may be something that's going to sort of pop up. I'm not getting its sadness. I'm actually getting a lot of tears of gratitude and just really admiring the beauty of life and of this world. Taking those moments where, like, I'm just getting the sense of heartfelt happiness in a way that's like, I am so grateful you are in my life. Thank you so much. Feeling really grateful for all of the things that are coming through, and it might make you a little bit teary. So that's an interesting little twist on that one, isn't it? I love when this random stuff comes through. The other reason why I was laughing about that one is because I've just put in a request for some free hebe plants for tomorrow. So water my garden. Apparently, yes. The next card that we've got is Empathic Starseed. Energetic sovereignty, absorbing what's not yours. So while you're in the space of vulnerability and just being open and grateful and all that sort of stuff, sometimes we are so open and so beautifully raw that occasionally, if we haven't got our awareness and allowance expanded out, as well as being beautifully vulnerably raw, occasionally we will start absorbing or taking on other people's energies, and suddenly all that beauty and all that gorgeous deliciousness will be dulled and shift into something that might be sad or angry or frustrated or whatever. It'll just flip the mood. And if you notice that happening over this next week, expand out your awareness and allowance and ask, truth, is this mine? Or truth, is this someone else's? And if it's lighter on the someone else's, you know it's not yours, and you can just go, oh, return that to sender with consciousness attached. Okay, it's one of the beautiful tools from Access Consciousness, and it is something that really helped me as an empathic being to recognize that not all the stuff that goes through my head or that I'm aware of is actually mine. A good chunk of the stuff which is negative, down, sort of judgmental or whatever that goes through my head is often not even mine. It's other people's stuff. And this particular card coming up after that other one sort of say, just be on the lookout for those moments where you and your world might find that you're a little bit like, and feeling like you're nice and light and high, and then like, ask, truth, is this even mine? Is this mine? You'll probably find it's not. Okay. And again, they're telling us to breathe. This is breath of the cosmos, my will to thy will, micromanaging the universe. So this is an interesting one. I'm seeing this as being, try not to control too much. There is a divine order and everything is happening much quicker than what you would consider it to be done. So for example, I was talking with Alex about creating a little gardeny kind of area outside of my space and out the window of my space. And I wish to be able to look out my window and just see beautiful plants and trees and things rather than our current backyard. And I spoke to him about that last weekend. And I said to him, I'm not looking at actually doing anything with this right this second. I'm just sort of in the planning stages. Next thing you know, free heebies. What else is possible? Normally, previously to this, it would have been roughly 2 to 3 months before things started popping up into my space. Now it's a week. So as we are moving faster and faster into the space of the 5D, which is what I was saying last week with the big, huge energetic shifts that are happening and the shifts in consciousness that are happening. That's why it was so rough this last couple of weeks, is because we as a whole collective, it's not just few of us, it is a whole collective is going, right? And with that, our actualization speeds are increasing exponentially. So, for example, that 3-month time span, that was true last year. Last year and the year before definitely was 3 months between an ask and a receiving, an ask and a receiving. And now it's gone down to a week. So what I would say is be very mindful of what you are asking for, because the universe does not recognize when you say, I don't want. So this whole micromanaging thing, because this card actually came up upside down, right? And I flipped it up the right way because I was like, And then I've just realized why it came up upside down. It's like, please don't micromanage us. We've got this. We've got this for you. Your asks are coming to you super, super quick now. Hi, Christine. Oh, you're so welcome, love. You're so, so welcome. I hope you had a good sleep. So please don't micromanage your asks. They are coming. Some asks take a little bit more time to arrange all the bits and pieces. But if we take that time frame that was happening for me last year versus now, instead of it taking, say, a year, it might only take a month. This is how quick things are happening. So be mindful. Be mindful and make sure you're asking for, it's like the genie in the bottle, right? You've got to be really mindful of how you're using your wishes, how you're using your asks. What are you asking the world for? Be mindful if you're saying, I need a break. I'm not saying that I need a break, by the way. I'm just giving it as an example. Instead of saying break, say rest. I require a rest. I require a holiday. Make it those positive things. If you say break, guess what happens? You might get a broken car. You might get a broken body. You might get a break in your contract, as in fired. You might get a lot of different kinds of breaks. You might have a break up in a relationship, friendship, whatever. So watch out for those breaks. You might just break your favorite coffee cup. Who knows? But be very, very careful about your asks. Ask for those lovely things that's going to get your voice out there and those sorts of things, and making sure that you're energetically aligned with your asks as well. Hi, Julie. Lovely, lovely, lovely to see you. All right. And our yummy card for the next week is sacred. Okay, so remember, your words are sacred, your body is sacred, your space is sacred. Just really keep that in the top of your mind. Oh, what happened to my pen? Ah, there it is. Cool. Fabulous. Okay, so that's it. That is it for the weekly reading. Thanks for all the love hearts. Oh dear. I don't often get to see them because over on StreamYard, I don't see them so much, but it certainly is really neat when I jump back over to Facebook land and I see them. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I definitely appreciate them. So I had a funny moment today, actually. It came up in my, hi Holly, it came up in my memories of teaching bars and access bars and facelift class in Gisborne 5 years ago. So 5 years ago was the last time that I went back to New Zealand. So it's been a long time. And ooh, Melinda, that's exciting. A phone message at 2 p.m. today, which I saw after 5 p.m. going to phone them back on Monday. Wonderful, wonderful. Given that they would probably know that you are working at the food bank, they may not have expected you to get back to them until Monday anyway, but that's really exciting. So fingers crossed. So yeah, it's been a long time since I've been back to New Zealand, and there is a part of me definitely that misses it, but it was really weird because that particular trip, I kind of knew it would be a really, really long time till I went back again. And that trip saw me making sure that I got all the rest of my bits and bobs out of my mum's house and either donating them or throwing them away or putting the most precious things into the suitcase and bringing it with me back to Australia. So at this point in time, I have nothing physical possessions wise left in New Zealand. And I just know that I will come back at some point, but it probably won't ever be to live. I was meant to be born there. I was meant to grow up there. I was meant to have my grounding there. So I would always have that deep connection to earth and the lushness of living in rural New Zealand at the base of the mountains and by the lakes and all that stuff, and to grow up in the country and have a good country life and learn a lot of very, very practical skills from my family and things like that, and learn a lot of stuff and bring a lot of stuff up that had to be healed, not only for this lifetime, but for my other lifetimes. And I know that also my time in New Zealand meant that with me having to leave, it would be because my voice has to be heard in a space greater than New Zealand. I had to be international, if you like. And it's an interesting feeling and an interesting space to be in, to go, gosh, it's been 5 years since I've been back. Wow. And, I even had a car crash while I was there, which is very unusual for me. And I didn't die. It wasn't just a little prang. It was in the rural parts of New Zealand, and we ended up having a moment where I was going through, heading up towards Wanganui from Martin, and I was taking the back roads, and I didn't realise that because they didn't have any signage up, that they just retar sealed the road, and they had all the loose gravel on the top, which is very normal for New Zealand, but it's not very normal for Australia to create the roads like that. And I came around, I'd come around a low bend, and then I went up, and then I was coming around a high bend, and that was fine. I was going fairly slow. I was maybe max 50 Ks coming around the top. And then I came down, and just as I came around the top, I hit the loose gravel, and I went, shh, and then I managed to over-direct and come back. So I wasn't going to smash into that person's fence post, but as my car slid back, it went down a hill. It hit a strainer post that was lying in the long grass, and that strainer post prevented me from rolling down the hill and bumped my front end back up, completely smashed to the steering column. Car was a complete and utter write-off. I had no bruises, no whiplash, no nothing, just a bit of shock at the time. But it was like, this is the most bizarre thing ever. I felt incredibly protected. And I really wondered why. It's like, why did this happen? And in the moments after I'd contacted the hire company and then gotten the tow truck organized and stuff, I sat with the car for a bit because things talk to me. And I said to the car, I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry that we had this crash, and, you know, you're probably not going to drive again. And the car said, thank you. I said, why? Why thank you? And they said, and I just went and did like this big sigh, like, I'm just so tired. I'm ready to be done. I'm just so tired. And if you hadn't crashed me, they would have hired me out over and over again, and I'm just so done. And I'm like, wow, okay. So that was quite a profound moment. And then, you know, I had a friend who, once the tow truck took me to Wanganui, they picked me up because they had been working in National Park. And to my New Zealand crew, this will all make sense, because I was heading back up to Taumaranui. And once I hit Taumaranui, which is where my family lives and where I grew up, sort of. I say sort of because I actually grew up in this little teeny tiny village called Kakahi, which is about 20 minutes south of Taumaranui. And they allowed me to borrow a car, and because the hire company wouldn't give me another car. And that's how I did the next chunk of the trip. And then my friend who I was going to be staying with in Hamilton, her nephew was going to be driving up from Taumaranui to Hamilton. So I caught a ride with him, and then I caught the bus to the airport in Auckland a couple of days later. And it was quite a, I guess, traumatic ending to my time in New Zealand. But could it have been any other way? It was certainly memorable. And the kindness and the generosity of the people around me it just blew my mind, because at that time I was still a little bit in self-doubt as to whether I was worth that. I didn't know at that time, because this was before my big feminine journey began. And I just didn't know that I was worthy of receiving that level of generosity and kindness from not only strangers. Like where I crashed the car, it was really rural. There was like no houses for miles except for the one farmhouse, which was able to be seen from the road. And I just had to walk up their long driveway. That was it. And she was actually, the lady of the house was home, and she wasn't supposed to have been home. She just happened to be home that day because she had some stuff to do instead of going to work. Crazy. So it was certainly a very, very fascinating time. And on, you know, taking these moments where you can reflect back like that for, if I say 5 years ago, and seeing your progression and how far you've come in that 5 years is so valuable. It's valuable acknowledgement of who you be now, because it's not always about striving to what's up there, what's up there, what's up there. It's like, hang on a minute, take a moment and acknowledge how far you've already come. Look at all those steps that you've already made. This is incredible. Well done. Because that gives you the breathing space to keep going. Okay? Anyway, worthy of receiving is a huge lesson. Yes. Yes. The irony of it is that the feminine journey actually began the end of that year. So yeah, the crash happened at the start of 2019, and my big feminine journey began in the December of that year. So yeah, funny. All right, Melinda, please, you have already popped your donation through, so thank you. And Julie, you will be after that. Thank you very much. So Melinda, could you please pop your question in the chat? And there was a question I was going to ask you. It popped into all of you, and it popped into my head, and now it's disappeared again. I wonder what that was. It'll come back if it's meant to. Who wishes to come and play with Melinda? Anybody else? Maybe. Receiving. Now, receiving is a funny old one, because there are so many points of views and belief systems that we have that have come through from, excuse the French, I don't usually say that, but excuse the French, fucked up sources. In that we have this lovely point of view and belief system that it's better to give than receive. And you know where that one came from? It came from these money-hungry, asshole religious people and priests who all they wanted was the wealth for themselves. So how do they best convince everybody to give them lots beyond what they can possibly afford? Well, it's better to give than receive, don't you know? It'll get you closer to God, don't you know, if you give more than you receive. So that little point of view has indoctrinated itself into our psyche at such a deep, deep level that we, particularly as women, but also, and I can include my partner in this one, as empaths and caring people, tend to put everybody else before ourselves because we wish to give more than we receive. And it's gone to such a toxic level in society that we have so many beautiful, caring people out there that are no longer able to give much more because they are burnt out, they are exhausted, they are suffering from depression, anxiety, pain, all the stuff because of this fucked up point of view and belief system that it's better to give than to receive. Because, of course, when you have that point of view, when people do offer you help, you go, oh, no, it's fine, I'll do it. So then you end up with hyper independence and people pleasing and, oh my Lord, so many things, right? So this is why it is so, so important to learn how to receive, and to receive graciously and in your heart. And it takes time. It really, truly does. It's like the good old Pantene commercial. It doesn't happen overnight, but it does happen. It takes a while to shift that particular belief system. It is a tricky one because it comes with a lot of judgment, a lot of expectations, a lot of projections about how, if you don't abide by that particular belief system, that you're a bad person, that you're, just add all the other crap on the top of that. And it's not even true. Because the thing is, if you can't if you can't fill your own cup and allow others to fill your cup with you, you're not going to be around long enough, because your cup will get empty, and then it will get dry, and then it will crack. And that cracking is not only your body, as in it cracks up, it gets sick. It's your mind, it's your being. Your being doesn't really get cracked, but there'll be parts of you that will crack away from you. You'll become disassociated with yourself. So this is why the giving and the receiving, flip it around. It's a beautiful thing to receive. It's a beautiful thing to receive. Thank you. And Julie, I agree with your daughter. Say thank you and receive. One of the things I remember my mum, because I remember this, maybe I was about 12 or 13, something like that, that very awkward age where you're like starting to grow into your teenage body, but you're still like really shy and don't really know what you're doing and stuff like that. And being a rural kid, that was even worse. And there was a gentleman who was, these days you might go, oh, that sounds a bit creepy, but no, he was just being genuine. And I had, taken time to make myself look nice, and I wasn't in uniform or anything. And he commented that, I looked really pretty today. And I just looked at my mum and I was like, what do I say? And she just said, just say thank you. I was like, oh, okay. So, as Melinda said, you have to be able to balance the scale of giving and receiving. Exactly. And just remember, if you don't receive, you're going to dry up. You're going to run empty. You're going to dry up. You're going to crack. And you can crack your brain. Like I said, all those conditions, those mental health conditions that I was talking about before, that's all cracking of the brain. And it's because we give too much to others and not enough to ourselves. That's why so often, if you noticed over the last few weeks, even though there's been a lot of tumultuous stuff coming up, throughout every single reading over the last few weeks has been at least one card talking about you taking care of you, whether it be breathing. Today it was water your garden. There's loads every single week. There's been something about taking care of you, making sure you nurture you. So that's an interesting one to take note of, isn't it, my friends? All right. Melinda, back to you, my darling. I'm off my soapbox for the next 10 seconds. It's my show. What can I say? I can be on a soapbox. Hey, this is getting my voice out there, right? Woo-wee. We're getting hot in here. I won't take off all my clothes. I'm sorry. Not that kind of show. I don't have an OnlyFans account yet. That could be a whole other way of getting my voice out there. Probably pay me more too. Hey, if a lady who is like in her 70s can be on there and make, thousands and thousands of dollars. Oh, dear me. Let me just message the old delicious one. Ask him to put the aircon on for me, please. Cool. You just never know what's going to come out of my mouth. That's the whole fun thing of having me as your host. And as a friend. I'm hilarious. You've just got to be the right audience for my humor. I just remembered what I was going to talk to you guys about. But Melinda's been waiting so patiently. So I'll write this down here. Cool. All right. And see if I'll come back around to it. Okay, Melinda, we've got the wordy cards. All right. So we'll start with them. So we've got small amounts of money will become available. Use them wisely. So so yes, interesting. I wonder what's going to be coming your way soon, and I wonder where that is going to be coming from. So what I would say to you is, given how quickly things are creating and actualizing, I would say maybe say something like, I am happy to receive wealth and abundance with total ease from any source. And you can add provisos in there if you like, of any legitimate source. But sometimes maybe, and I'm saying just maybe not something illegal. And you could also put into that little nudge to the universe, I'm happy to receive wealth and abundance that is for my highest and best. There we go. That will just take care of that illegal shenanigans. It's like next thing you know, you end up with somebody on your doorstep going, bro, do you want to sell my pot for me? I'll give you a cut of the commissions. Yeah, not that. That doesn't sound like that much fun. And yes, it could be employment. So, but be wise with the money, however it is coming in. The next card says, you may be feeling indecisive at this moment. Focus on your outcome and do not fear the consequences. So it's okay if you're feeling like a little bit like, oh, do I, if it is this employment thing, oh, do I go? Do I stay? Do I go? Do I stay? So it's focus on your outcome and don't fear the consequences of perhaps leaving the food bank. I know you created a lot of really great friends over there and had some wonderful experiences, but clearly it's time maybe. Pretty sure that there was something that was said near the end of last year about that this year you will definitely be moving through into some kind of job that was going to pay you a wage. Because as much as we love the fact that you do the voluntary work over at the Food Hub, and I actually heard an interview just the other day, not for the Food Hub, I'm pretty sure it was Meals on Wheels, but I imagine Food Hub would be just the same, of they're finding it hard to get volunteers. And so for the time that you have been there, I say well done. It's a beautiful thing that you have been doing. And also, how much more fun can you have in a job that pays you money? The next card that you've got is indulge yourself in your ambition. Your hard work and cleverness will pay off. Allow yourself the confidence to shine. Now, I actually get that last little bit is probably the biggest part of that little message. When it comes to doing your interviews, be shiny and be relaxed. Be relaxed. Know that you don't have to have this job. You have still got the food bank stuff going on. This is something that is going to assist you, but look at it as more of a thing of, and this is where the cleverness part comes in. Approach it from that space of how can you assist them? They want to know, and this doesn't matter what the business is. They want to know how you are going to contribute to them and their business. So if you do a little bit of research and find out what makes them tick and what their goals and what their focuses are, what their perceived what do you call it, like business motto, if you like, the vibe of the business. And these are all things you can find with a quick Google search. Have a look at their website, those sorts of things. You'll see really quickly what directions they're sort of going in, and you'll be able to then go, okay, well, I have this skill, and this skill, and these are going to be the things that will contribute the most to their business. Make it all about them and how you can help them, not how they can help you, because that's not going to get you the job. Okay. The next card they have is you may be feeling restless. Notice this feeling and take it seriously, for behind it is a glimpse of what is possible. Oh, yes, your body is telling you to move on. Feeling restless, I'm just getting that whole lovely image of itchy feet, and not from, athlete's foot. It's a feeling I know well, of every time I was searching for something, it was like I had to travel, I had to get away from there, I had to, move countries, change a job, change a partner. It was that's my itchy feet. That's my nomadic aspect to me. When I'm happy and settled, my feet don't itch. And I have fun. and I'm relaxed. But yes, rather than getting, like, I've seen it so many times in workplaces where you get a staff member who's quite clearly done. They are so done with the role. They're so done with that workplace. And what they do is they walk around grumbling a lot, or they don't work very hard. And they are and I'm not saying you're doing this at all, but if you're feeling that bit of restlessness, there was a term that I learned this week. It's called the sensor light worker, co-worker, and it's somebody who only works when somebody's watching them. And I'm like, yeah, I've known people like that. Definitely known people like that. So yes, notice the feeling of that itchiness as such, that restlessness. And the next card that we've got for you says, be generous and be open to the generosity of others. Have faith. So again, it's about the receiving. Okay. You're always generous, but it's also being open to the generosity of others. That's something that they're asking you to work on, please. And for your yummy card, humor. So let your humor shine, my love. That's going to be your winning card. Because if they like your sense of humor, they'll get you, and then everything else will flow. I've seen that happen time and time and time again in my work. It is a wonderful, wonderful way of building rapport with people very quickly. And you can be a bit self-deprecating with your humor too. Like, you can crack a joke and just go, see, I'm just such a cheeky minx. And everybody's like, oh. Because before they really get to know you, they don't know if you're joking or not. And then it's like, they figure it out because you tell them basically, yeah, I'm joking, but you don't do it seriously. So there we go. I hope that helps, Melinda. What did you say? We have a few volunteers now. You can see that they are done. They do jack shite while there. Oh, yes. Yes, the sensor light. So there we go. So, yeah. All right. I hope that helps, Melinda. That was a pretty positive reading, actually. I liked it. It was nice. Nice. All right, Julie, can you please pop your question in the chat? The thing I love about these readings is that even, I know that you guys watch and it's so fun. I love that. And like, I realized that there's all sorts of funny little tidbits that run through my readings that might be quite relevant to others. So it's cool that you guys are watching. I really appreciate it so much. And yes, I get to weave my humor through things. I might be more humorous than usual. I'm on coffee right now, not my usual tea at this time. My body just said, no, I want coffee. I'm like, oh, okay. So we're in our Snoopy cup today. And it says, I work so my dog can have a better life. Isn't that awesome? Okay, Julie, let's see which cards wish to come and play with you. Okay, so that one. And you're so welcome, Melinda. Moving some energy. And Julie, do you know what you require to know at this time to move forward? It's called choice. You have to choose it. I know that's a bit of a... Hi, Holly. I'm glad you're back. It's one of those things of, I could do readings for you every day. And your team is telling you or guiding you or indicating to you or inspiring you every single day. But if you don't choose it, if you don't choose to move forward, if you don't choose to make those little steps, nothing is going to change. And those little steps can include choosing to do meditation, choosing to do a good morning exercise, connecting in with your body every day, telling your body how beautiful it is and how much you love it. It could be going and seeing a healer or an intuitive reader or an intuitive healer or a kinesiologist or some kind of, practitioner that you can see, a Reiki person or whatever it is, an energy mover. Because being able to choose things that nurture you and nurture your body will help you move forward. You could always choose to move backwards, of course, but if you've got somebody who's moving energy with you and guiding you to move your own energy, you actually can't go backwards because the stuff that was holding it in place to start off with is now gone. That's the cool part. We can still grieve the stuff that's gone. That happens a lot, actually. It's like, oh, but I miss that controlling wanker. He was my safety net. I knew what to do with him. Oh, dear. Yes, I'm full of the cheekies today. And again, Julie, I'm not saying that your person is that at all. Not at all. Mm-mm. That was just an example that popped into my head. We get too fixated on keeping things status quo. And the reason why we do that is the ego has an easier time managing that. So it likes to keep things stable and steady. And even if that stable, steady thing is toxic, it knows how to handle the toxicity. So it will just try and remain there. But if you are making choices that are going to start removing that toxicity, the ego goes, has a bit of a freak out, and then you get the resistance. So that's why I was saying, like, my theme for last year was feel the resistance and move through it anyway. Recognize when my ego was having a big, huge mare attack and freaking out because I'm going to change some shit around, and self-soothe, say it's okay, it's all right, we're quite safe, it's all right, and keep choosing and moving forward anyway. Move forward, keep choosing and move forward. So for example, and I think I told you guys this before I did my Reiki 2 class, the night before I did the first day, I had an absolute shocking night's sleep. because the dreams that I was having were so visceral and vivid. And it was like, in the dreams, all the structures around me were falling down. And I was afraid that the ceiling was going to fall in on me and crush me and things like that in my dream. And I literally ended up sitting up in bed and screaming. And I woke up Alex. And he's like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm okay. Just had a bad dream." He's like, "Oh, okay." As long as you're all right. Yeah, fine. But that was the resistance of my ego being very loud. And so then I had to go and have a cup of tea and calm back down, right? That's just one example. We can have resistance in when we are on a new way of eating, for example, like I am at the moment. I've had some beautiful drops and then plateaus and then drops and then plateaus and then drops. And at the moment I'm on a plateau and I'm just like, that's okay. This is about my body and my ego going, okay, we're safe. We're safe. We're good. And just being okay with that so that then we can continue on our journeys. So it's this at the moment is where I'm in my body, my ego, my brain is my thinky, stinky brain is having a little bit of a resistance ego moment. That's okay. It's okay. We're doing well still. We'll just keep going, because everything will shift, whether it likes it or not. Lovely. All right. So to move forward, oh, you're going to love this. All right. So you've got an interesting goddess that has asked to come forward. So let me just read this first. 158. Gosh darn it, they don't say how to say her name. Okay. Luckily, I kind of know how to say this lady's name because she's very similar to one of my friends. So we've got... Okay, here we go. So we've got Zhao Huanjing. There we go. Zhao Guanjing, the mystic of peace. So she says, I am peace, and when my mind is clear, the way is clear. So when your soul selects her card, Albert Einstein said that we cannot solve our problems with the same thinking we used when we created them. Clarity only comes from clarity. There is peace and calm that exists far beneath the constant banter that most of us listen to all day within our minds. The ego. Junior Hyunbai Jungian, Carl Jung. Author Clarissa Pinkola Estes calls it the river beneath the river. It's the steady flow of the universal life force that wants us to reach our goal, even if we can only get still enough to merge with it. Wu Wei, so W-U-W-E-I, in Taoism translate as doing nothing. It's a sacred feminine art of trusting the force of life that exists within us all. Zhao mastered the spiritual practice by calming her mind and experiencing the still center that's at the eye of every storm. Zhao is a call for us to be still, to do nothing other than shift our awareness. Interesting. Come out of the current state of mind that we're in before making any moves or decisions. She reminds us that we only want to take action when what is moving us is the force of love at the heart of everything. So your soul voice meditation goes into the heart and ask to experience stillness. Repeat the mantra, I am peace. Okay, so she is wishing to come and help you. She's just flying off the table, so she's going to stay on the floor now. All right, so moving forward. Hi, Catherine. We have value your uniqueness. The world awaits you. Okay. We see if I can move it down. Okay. So this is, again, it's coming back to that self-worth conversation we were having earlier tonight. So for you to be able to move forward, it is time to value your uniqueness. What are the things, like sit down maybe tomorrow, pop it on your list of things to do tomorrow and write down 10 or 20 things that make you unique. Things that really only you can do in your unique way. And this is maybe something that all of you can do. Because we all have moments where it's like, oh God, I don't think I have value for anybody. But you do. There are so many things that I can do. And because I have such a unique combination of things together, it makes me really unique, really valuable as a staff member, as a partner, as a friend, because my knowledge base is so wide and my experience base is so wide that it's like sometimes it feels like I'm way overqualified for any job. It doesn't matter what it is. And there's times that I have to like hold back because it's like, well, I know I can do that, but it's... So yes, it's time to value your uniqueness. Get to write down a list of all the things that make you unique and start owning those things. The next card that we've got for you is transform old situations into new possibilities. Let go of the past and become the present. Okay, so when we are holding on to those old points of views, those old belief systems, like I was talking about before, around it's better to give than receive, what are some of the other belief systems that you've got that are holding you back from moving forward? What are they? Write them down. And after you've written them down, what's the opposite of that? I'm giving you lots of homework. Home play. Just for Julie, but not for anybody else. Not unless you wish to move forward too. Because those old situations have taught you something. They've shown you something. They've brought up energy, right? So now you can look at that and go, how did that change me? How did that bring me to a different place in my life? Okay. So you can be more present in the now. You can start letting go of some of that stuff. Okay. Your next one is discover yourself anew. Look inside and rise. Okay, so this is, once again, it's all on the same theme. You have to go within. This is about you finding your value, finding your balance, finding the things that make you special, and you owning the living crappers out of them. Because you are special. You do have gifts. You do have talents that are a contribution to those around you. And now it's time to turn those gifts back to contribute to you. You know, I've got healing hands. I've got creative hands. I've got hands that do things. Like, I love working with my hands. And so often my hands will for many years, I should say, for many years, I never really used my healing hands on me. Now at night, before I hop into bed, every night pretty much, my healing hands get activated and I rub cream onto my feet, thanking my feet for the wonderful job that they've done today, supporting me. And of course, now that I'm Reiki trained, every time my hands are doing any of that kind of touching work, they immediately are activated. So I'm giving myself Reiki in the nighttime before I go to sleep. Discover yourself anew. So here's a little bit of homework for that one. Home play. If you were to go and create, which way am I going to go with this one? Because there's two things. Right. So first of all, I would like for you to write down a profile of yourself from your friend's perspective. So your very best friend. And write down what you think they see in you. Okay? And from there, have a look at that and start, and maybe even get your best friend to write one down as well and see, do they match? You can put it through to her, like, or through to them. I'm assuming it would be a female, but that's not very kind. You can say, hey, I'm doing a bit of, self-healing or a workshop or something like that. And, I'd like to know, if you were to write a profile of me or an introduction, if you were to introduce me to someone else, how would you describe me? What sort of strengths or attributes do you see that maybe I don't? That's a bit of a fun one. All right. This next one is ground yourself. Be in your body. Okay. So being in your body, it's one of those very tricky things when we've been scattered for a really long time, when we've been giving and not really receiving. Remember how I said near the start of the show, whenever it was, about when we give so much, one of the things is like our spirit or our being doesn't really break or fracture or crack, but it does become these parts of us that will move away. We can always bring them back. They've never really left us, but it becomes harder when those parts and pieces are scattered. So come back to you. Come back to your beautiful body. Come back to the grounding. Come back. Okay? And thank you. All right. And you know this card well, I feel. This next stage of what you are going to be doing, the self-healing, the reintegration, of all the aspects of you is still going to be a little bit of a struggle. So this card says, face your challenges head on. Strength is in the struggle. Okay. This particular stage of your spiritual awakening, development, whatever you'd like to call it, journey, if it's not too overused in your world, it's going to be one of your next most challenging struggles. But, and I do say but, your most rewarding. You will come away from this particular moment of where you're going and how you're moving through that, and you'll be like, ah, finally. And you'll feel like you've arrived. But it's a little bit like climbing all those lovely big steps up to the top of the temple. It takes effort, it takes persistence, it takes tenacity, it takes the inner choices and the courage to keep moving, to keep taking those steps day after day after day. And yes, you can sit down on the steps for a couple of days and rest and integrate as your body shifts and changes and catches up. That's totally okay. Then you've got to get up, keep going. Keep the goal in sight. And your yummy card is light spirit. So remember, you are a light spirit. You're not just a human meat sack. You are far, far more than that. And there is gifts and there is, what am I seeing? Oh my God, hang on. Okay, so what I'm seeing is like little bubbles of energy. It's almost like, did you ever watch Harry Potter? And there was the point where there was like the memories that were stored in the glass balls. And this is sort of what I'm seeing with you, Julie, is it's like you've got these capacities that are sitting within you that are able to be seen, but you're the one that has to activate them. And you will activate them as you move through this journey, as you keep moving forward, as you keep finding your value and your worth, you keep balancing out your feminine and your masculine, as you keep, dropping into your vulnerability and your gratitude and your honoring of you. And it's going to seem possibly to the people around you that you're going to be, quote unquote, a little bit selfish for a while you go through this next part of your development. It's not selfish to take care of yourself. It's the most kindest, nourishing thing you can do for everybody. For your family, for your kids, for your grandkids, for your community at large. Because your energy radiates out of you. And if you're angry and like, even from like, not even for me, I was so angry as a little kid it became, and yet I couldn't express that anger because good girls don't do that, that it was pushed down within my body for so long that I stopped even recognizing I was angry. And now that I've done that big, huge feminine journey of like 18 months and a little bit longer of feminine journey work, of removing so many belief systems and, you know, learning what it meant to be part of a sisterhood and having all of these incredible people in my life, women in my life. It helped me to uncover this anger and to process it and release it from, I was blinking 6 years old, if not younger. So there's a lot for you to do. You'll get there. But you're going to have to make that choice. You're going to have to have the courage to make that demand. It's not just a choice, it's a demand of you to do it. My demand came in the form of whatever it takes. I am going to remove these narcissistic aspects out of my life permanently. I didn't know what that looked like. I had no idea that it would create, that one demand would create so much change in my world, but it did. And I'm incredibly grateful. Totally incredibly grateful. So if I hadn't made that demand, 4 years ago, I wouldn't be where I am now. Talking to you beautiful, beautiful people. So I hope that helps, Julie. I wish I could have been a little bit more uplifting. Gave you lots of homework though. You're welcome. Yeah, I get that. So grateful for my wisdom. You're welcome. Been working on my crap, have stayed away from people for a while. I didn't want to affect people with my energy as it was heavy energy, not light. Yes and no. Okay. When you are around uplifting people, you'll find that your energy shifts. Okay. Your energy, I get the sense you're a bit of a mimicker and you're fabulous at doing it. And you've been around a lot of people who are negative energy people. They're judgmental, if you like. And you've now recognized that, and now you're going, oh, fuck, now I don't know what to do with myself. I'm just such a negative Nelly. But you're not. You're not a negative Nelly. You've just been around the wrong audience. Right? So what if you found yourself like a beautiful, gentle women's group that you can join? Somewhere where you can go, maybe like they do once a month gatherings or something like that. We don't have to worry about the silly COVID times anymore. And you'll get to meet new people that are in the same kind of vibe as you, and you'll get to learn new stuff and be around different energies. That's really exciting and it's fun. It's a little bit daunting to go to somewhere new, but check it out, okay? working with women can be one of the most beautiful, conscious women, I'm going to put it that way, conscious women can be one of the most comforting and soothing things in your life, to give you the confidence to be all of you. Okay? Righty-ho, Edwina, you are up, my love, and then Christine, you are after that. And thank you very, very much for your donations, my beautiful friends. So grateful for all of you. So Edwina, if you could please pop your question into the chat. Okay, thank you, Edwina. See, I must be getting popular. I have to ban people. Ban people from my chat. Ooh. Oh, that's funny. So, just while I'm getting set up for Edwina, I have a question. So, I've been listening to two different types of books at the moment. One is The Fourth Turning, and when I need time to process that one, I listen to something completely different. So, at the moment, it's like a fantasy type novel with vampires and werewolves in them. And my question for you all is, and this might be a bit of an interesting concept, but I'd like to know what your guys' thoughts are, is what if the concept of werewolves in particular was created by, like, the origins maybe were created by the church to fear paganism. And by that I mean, as in, a werewolf is activated by the full moon traditionally. And so paganism and witchcraft and stuff like that, there's a lot of magic that happens on a full moon. It's a very potent time. Now, the other aspect that made me think that possibly this is a link is that obviously there's the blood aspect to it. And, you know, when you think of stories that involve werewolves, and this is where the vampires part comes in too, there's a real fear over the power and the potency of blood. And of course, that means a fear of the power and potency of women who bleed. So I'm just wondering, do you guys agree or disagree with my thoughts that perhaps the stories around vampires and werewolves was about another aspect of the church trying to control the congregation in fear of women and witchcraft and healers and, you know, the naturopaths and the herbalists and things like that, and to do it in such a way that is kind of a bit obtuse, but still it's there. So I'm curious. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your thoughts. If you think I'm completely, you know, losing my brains and it's complete hogwash, I'm quite happy for you to think that too. And to voice that if you like. But I'm very curious as to what you might think. Because as we know, the concept of the, you know, the ugly witch with the hooked nose and the wart and you know, old craggy skin and stuff like that, who eat children and that sort of stuff, that was literally designed to have people fear paganism because it didn't mesh with the church. because people were, the so-called witches or the herbalists or whatever were working with the land, working with Mother Earth. And so how does the church sort of come around to figuring out how to control that aspect? Because they're like, well, no, we've got control of all of that. We've got the direct link to God, remember? Thank you, Christine. Yeah. Yes, absolutely. Since the Catholics have the blood of Christ communion, they turn pagan as bad. Yes. Fear of nature. Yeah, they do. They couldn't understand, could they? So, very curious to see what else you guys think. Okay, Edwina. Thank you for weighing in on that one, Christine. I'm curious to see if anybody else has any thoughts, feelings, or opinions about that. There's a lot of stuff that's come up in multiple types of books over the years that I've been listening to, where it's very clear how much fear was placed around women. And it's no wonder we're just so blinking angry. Like literally that just comes down from generations upon generations of being persecuted. As a woman, as a healer, as an intuitive, as a gardener, for goodness sake, somebody who actually knew how the medicinal properties of herbs and things, it's just absolutely bonkers. Yeah, they fear our magic. They fear the fact that we literally create miracles in our bodies. But the church wanted everybody to think that they're the only ones that can create miracles. Or it's God that creates, like it's only the Lord's thing that creates the miracles. It's like, well, hang on a minute. Christine says everyone is connected to Source since everyone is a part of Source's creation. So how religion says in order to be connected to Source, one has to be in religion made by man's perception. Don't get it. No. And you wouldn't be the only woman who wondered that. I remember going to church. My parents were involved in a couple of different types of church, and at different times. And there was a couple of things in there, and it was like one of the things was, I am everywhere. And I'm like, well, if God's everywhere, why do we need to go to a building to be able to be with God? Surely we can be with God wherever we are. If we're sitting on the toilet, we're still with God, And I always used to sort of go, why do we have to go to a particular building for that? I don't get it. See, this is what made me very unpopular with my mum and my dad. It was like, don't question stuff like that. Catherine, another form of control by the patriarchy to instill fear. Yeah, you fear stuff that you don't understand. And of course, men at that time could not understand. Seriously, they thought that the uterus, if I remember correctly, they thought that the uterus was connected directly to the brain. Like, as in there's a tube. It wasn't its own organ. Crazy. I think it was the brain or the heart or throat or something weird like that. I don't know. It was just like, what? So you can kind of forgive them a little bit for being a bit dumb. Edwina, my love. You have a new goddess that is coming to assist you, should you choose to receive her assistance. And I think she's pretty freaking cool myself. I've never worked with her directly, but I do enjoy her energy. So let me just double check. Here we go. So you curious yet? Hi, Sandra. Hope you're having a lovely evening. All right, cool. So the goddess that you've got, Edwina, is Aphrodite, which is eternal love. Wow. Yum, yum, yum. She's gorgeous. I love her. Look at those curves, would you? Like, seriously. Just everybody take a moment and just admire this absolute gorgeous goddess called Aphrodite. All right. She is incredible. Absolutely incredible. And one of the things around Aphrodite is obviously she's the goddess of love, beauty, and sensuality. Classic Greek mythology says she was born from a sea foam around Paphos in Cyprus. Exuding feminine energy, Aphrodite evokes the creative and heart-renewing powers of the water. She was a divine queen in Lemuria. Interesting. And reigned over all matters of love, romance, and relationships. Her temple contained a huge rose quartz crystal. Aphrodite heals our defenses against accepting love. Her mirror reveals our true beauty. Her pomegranate invites us to revel in sensuality. Aphrodite asks us to treat romantic love with respect, for it is a sacred practice. Our partners are divine teachers, bringing opportunities to learn everything about our own hearts. And a couple of the additional meanings is amplify the romance in your life with simple gestures like buying flowers for yourself or a surprise for your loved one. And the next thing is book a pampering treatment to reflect your inner beauty and self-worth. Again, that self-worth is coming up today. Your invocation to focus on is I cherish myself and create beautiful relationships. So, with that in mind, God, she's gorgeous. Love it. First thing that we had was actually a card that came out upside down. And this is something Aphrodite would like to help you with. So this is Pearl. And Pearl is about connecting to the divine. So at the present moment in time, you're not really allowing yourself to connect with the divine particularly well. You're preventing yourself from doing that. So it is time to stop, please. And take away all the blocks that is preventing you from doing that. And do you know what's interesting? I actually got to hold and work with some real, true pearls from the Philippines this week. And they have an incredible energy to them. Absolutely amazing energy. And the weight. I don't know if you've ever held real, true blue pearls before, but golly gosh, they are absolutely incredible. And that's to say, you are incredible. You are as valuable as the pearls that I was working with this week. And it is time for you to recognize that for you. The next card that you got, which is not unusual for you, I think, is Rose, which is attract a relationship. This is to do with the relationship with you. This isn't about external relationships. This is your relationship with you, your relationship with your divine feminine. This is where Aphrodite has come out for you. And this is the side of you that is asking, it's crying for more. It's crying for more nourishment and nurturing, the very, very least from yourself. So this is Edwina. Sandra, you were on the book club journey with me last time. Could you, if you're still floating around, because I was speaking about the book club earlier in the evening, could you please let the ladies know what kind of change you had? You don't have to talk about the details, but just overall, that would be really, really helpful, I think, in this moment. Edwina. I'm going to come back to this because right now, what's happening is I'm right here in my heart space for you and with you. As you guys know, I'm a kinesthetic healer. I feel in me what often is happening with you guys. And when I tune in to this card in particular, thank you, Sandra. I just get this overwhelming sense of sadness. And it's like your heart is crying. And I wish for you to know that you are loved. Your team loves you so, so much. And they are trying their very best. Mother Earth is trying her best to let you know that they are there for you. Even with your super busy lifestyle and everything else you've got going on right now, they're trying to show you you are loved and you can do this. You can come back to your heart. You can rebalance yourself. And yes, you might have to have some help from others as well. In fact, it's probably quite vital that you do. Find the thing that you're passionate about. For me, in my journey, it was craft. I joined a craft class when I was at my worst part of my life at that point. In the last, not quite the worst, second worst point in my life. And that craft class was every 2 weeks. And it was the one place. And then it moved to once a month. And then we had a year off. And then we've gone back again. And we're doing it once a month. This is a group of women that I would not normally hang out with. It's a group of women. We come from all different types and walks of life. We come together to share in this one passion that we have of being creative. We make cards together. We do paper craft. We sometimes do scrapbooking. But it is the one constant thing I've had for like 9 years. Find your group. You can have multiple groups, but find the thing that helps you to ground in for you. Carve out that little bit of time for you. And allow the people around you, not within the group, but your family, to step up so that they too can support you. Okay? Your next card is Auburn, which is to ground yourself. When we're all up here, when we're all up in our head, and all the energy is up there, very, very difficult to see creative solutions to things. Bring that energy down into Mother Earth. You can do this. You know how to do this. You've got this. There's capacities that are happening within you that are asking to come forward, but you're not allowing yourself to do so. And just because your team is so funny and they like to rebalance things, because it's been a very full-on reading tonight, apricot, which is rejoice and laugh. So, you know the old adage, if you don't laugh, you'll cry? It's kind of that. It's like, don't take everything so seriously. It's okay to find humor. It's okay to have dark humor. It's actually, sometimes it's one of the best ways to shift energy is just to laugh at it. And I'm not saying that to do that in a mean-spirited way. But you'll find the more that you laugh at stuff and laugh with yourself, the easier it will be to move those energies. So, for example, back in my 20s, I was a very serious lady. I was, like I said before, full of anger and had no idea I was full of anger. I was a control freak. I was scared. I was lonely. Everybody thought I was bubbly, but I wasn't. They thought I was so friendly and bubbly and nice. Meanwhile, on the inside, I was dying. But I didn't laugh very much. These days, I laugh a lot. A lot. People are always commenting about my giggle. And I enjoy it. I like it. It's good. So it's time to rejoice and laugh a lot more. Edwina, you've got receptive. Okay? You are very receptive to energies. You are very receptive to Mother Earth and Father Sky and your spirit team. It is time for you to acknowledge that. and let yourself be seen and heard. Let your team be seen and heard. Okay. Thank you, Edwina. Thank you, my love. Thank you for the donation. I really, truly do appreciate you. And thank you to your team, because your team is showing me, as is many of your other guys' teams, showing me which potential book for the book club should be done first. It's going to be an interesting time. All right. Thank you, Edwina. All right, Christine, you finally made it to the top of the list. Thank you so much. And Sandra, you will be after that. So please stick around and I will do them. Right. Christine, I will give you what the guides is asking. I don't know if I can do a full 2024 one, because that's quite an extended reading. But let's see what we can work with for the moment. Okay. Let's see which ones wish to come forward to play. Oh gosh. Just while I go and grab a moment, I will be back in 2 seconds. Let's see, I don't know if this is gonna drop off. It's all right. What can I do since I have futures? All right, 2 seconds. Hi, I'm back. Well, technically, no, Sandra, it's fine. I just go until things are done. But Sandra, if you could please pop in the chat for me how the book club worked with you or for you, and just pop a little bit of feedback in the chat for us. I know it was a long time ago, but I know for me there was some really big significant changes with working with you ladies, and like it's still one of the most profound things that helped me move so many aspects and belief systems and connection points within myself, and did so much healing with working with you all. So yeah, that would be amazing if you could. It's totally okay if you can't, if you don't wish to either. That's totally fine. I don't wish to put you on the spot in such a way, but if you would like to, that would be amazing. Edwina, I'm grateful to you too, and I'm, as guys say, you guys all the time, I'm grateful for you all, because you guys are my beautiful Friday night crew. Okay, Christine. The first card that I have for you is uncover your softer self. The beauty lies beneath. So this is this aspect of the honoring, the gratitude, the vulnerability, all of those sorts of things are elements of your softer self. And when we are that level of realness, not only with ourselves, we can then be that with other people, and we do it unapologetically. And this heals a lot of that people-pleasing side of things, the stuff that keeps you trapped in relationships that are, and friendships and things that are no longer actually assisting you or a contribution to you. Because when you're that deeply in a level of kindness and gratitude with you, it's like the energies that don't match that float away, and it becomes far more of a beautiful relationship with you and then the people around you, because as those people move away, then you welcome in the people that are more aligned with you. Okay. The next card that we have for you is to release inner tension, move into fluidity. So when we're in tension, when we're in that survival brain, when we're in that space of consistently being, fight, flight, freeze, or fawn, we are not going to be fluid. We are going to be, and when we're compartmentalizing our life, we are going to constantly be jagged and scattered and flighty, if you like. Whereas when we are releasing the tension and not being in our survival brain anymore, when we come up to our, the thrival and the smart brain up here rather than the emotional brain, we do thrive. We are in flow. We get the things that we're asking for with more ease, and it becomes a really beautiful communion with you and your body, and even your ego comes along for the ride because they go, oh, wow, actually it's so much easier this way. You can do so much more this way. I'm so glad we let go of those old points of views and belief systems. Now we've got a whole new bunch that makes life so much easier. Yay! Okay. So this year is definitely going to be a year for you of actually releasing that old stuff. Okay. The next card that we've got is to let go of the comparison. Embrace the unique you. Okay. So the unique you know who that is. You might be trying to hide from it, but the more that you compare yourself to others, family members, friends, partners, whatever, work colleagues, rather than just being you, the harder it is for you to go and be in the flow. Okay? So stop comparing yourself. Just stop. Because all that is doing is judging you for not being the same as someone else. We don't need you to be the same as someone else. We require you to be you, with your magic and your voice and your humor and your delicious smile. That's what we require in this world. Okay? Yeah, I like this card. Inhale the scent of life. The celestial bouquet awaits. So throughout this journey that you're on right now, it's going to be vital that you are connecting in with nature, connecting in with Mother Earth, connecting in with Father Sky, connecting in with the cosmos, doing that expanding out tool, and allowing yourself, and also, the extra parts of that today that I took you through. These are going to be vital for you to be able to move through this next section of time. Because as you're shifting and changing, things are going to get crunchy. You're going to feel lonely. You're going to, because the things that are no longer working for you, no longer serving you, are going to move out of your life. And there's going to be a gap. It always happens. There's going to be a gap. And in that gap, you have to make that choice. Am I going to continue to choose love or happiness or whatever it is for you? Or am I going to bring back the stuff that has been familiar, even though it was toxic? It's a scary place. At that little moment there is scary, but it's necessary. So in that little gap, and I mean little because in the grand scheme of things, it's only a blink of a moment. But in that little gap, connect in really deeply with Mother Earth, connect in with your spirit team, allow them energetically to surround you with love, and remind yourself, I am not alone. I have this love. And even at this stage, if you can start bringing in, like I was saying in the previous reading, bring in those small moments of your passions. Bring in something that is just for you, just for fun, just for you. Allow that to be your anchor point. Whether it be a women's gathering group, whether it be something like what I've got with craft class, whether it be whatever. When you truly, truly wish to do something, you will. You make that choice, you make that demand of you, and boom, that happens. It's only when we're a bit wishy-washy on something that it doesn't flow through. And this next card just adds to what I was just saying. Embrace loving touch, reach out and connect. Okay? It is time for you to connect with other women. It's time for you to connect with other amazing beings who will be there for you. It's like these women at craft class have seen me go through so many things. And sometimes I'll just sit there and just create. I won't say anything, very quiet. And other times I'm like, blah, 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 blah. Other times I'm somewhere in between. I add my little bit and then I go off. It's beautiful. Right. We must be popular tonight, ladies. Righty ho. So now let us have a look at your yummy card. Yep. So your theme for this next year or so, maybe a little bit less, is tenderness. You're going to find out what tenderness means to you over this next 12 months or less. And it's going to be the space where you really, truly embody that for you and discover the power and the potency and the magic of all of that. Have fun with that, Christine. Hope that helps. And thank you so much for your donation. I really do truly appreciate it. Okay, I'm just going to hide that now because I'm going to run out of voice. Okay. Sandra, thank you for giving us some feedback. So she said, the group was amazing. It was a big part of my healing journey, helping to bring myself self-love and getting out of my comfort zone. Yeah, you did. I miss it a lot. Me too. I think about you all, but feel your energies missing in my life. Such amazing, beautiful, supportive souls, a beautiful and accepting, non-judgmental group, just to be our true selves. Thank you so much. Our sisterhood was a group of empowering women that brought something unique to the group, loving and caring souls. I agree. Thank you. So this is basically what I'm looking at creating again, or recreating in a slightly different vibe, because we won't be doing exactly the same book list. There will be elements of that book list that will be coming through, because that was a very powerful and potent book list. And it was relevant for that particular group. But this next book club is going to be covering a couple of different books, and it may not go for as long. But I tend to do these things for as long as it feels kind of right. So, alrighty, Sandra. Your question is up next. If you would like to pop that in the chat, please, so I can then tune in with your team. Hello, Sandra's team. Long time no see. Okay, just put that on mute now. Okay, beautiful. Yes, I had just some, and that was, I think the blessing of our book club was, as I was explaining to the group earlier, is that that's February, love. Yes, there's some lighter energies coming though. There's the reading that I did at the start of the show, which is the weekly reading. There's some really nice stuff coming through now. This week, for the next week, it's going to feel a lot lighter and a lot easier. So, but let's see how you go with this one. But yeah, she's been freaking crunchy. Yep. Yes. The Sisterhood book club was just incredible. So I'm waiting. There's a lot of signs and signals around at the moment to say it's time. It's time for me to do version number 2. And you showing up on the show tonight is like kick in the head number 15. It's like, Lorene, how many different ways do we have to show you that now is the time to create this thing? Thank you, Julie. I know, they're hilarious, right? Oh. Oh, Sandra. Oh, Sandra. All right. Are you ready? Yeah, they do like to kick my butt. They haven't had to do it for a while. It's like, all right, girl, you've had enough of a rest. It's time to get moving again. So, after I did my level 2 Reiki, I kind of knew I just had to let those energies integrate, and then I was able to just like basically January was just kind of, I don't know what the hell happened to January. And this month in February, so we're halfway through now. And obviously we all know that the first couple of weeks of February has been an absolute fucking nightmare for energies and stuff. I've gone to work. I've gone to craft class. I've gone and done a swap. But other than that, I fucking stayed home. And other than being here with you guys, I'm home. You want to find me? I'm home. I'm just like, no, stay away. I can't do people no more. But when I'm out and I'm doing my job, I'm there, I'm present, I'm doing my thing. She's been a bit of a rough one. But now the team is my team, your guys' teams, the bloody collective is saying, yes, it's time. All right, Sandra. We have the sacral chakra to start off with. And it says you are highly sensitive to chemicals, additives, processed foods, and energies right now. Respect your sensitivities by avoiding harsh items, situations, and relationships. I think that last one is probably one of the most important for you right now. That given what is happening next. Oh dear, Sandra. So I'm trying to remember. Let me just double check something before I continue on. Is that it? Okay. Oh, that's the one I want. Okay. Just 2 seconds, my friends. 2 seconds. I want to see that one. No. Okay. I have to do it that way. Fine. Yes. Okay. We have in my Find You. How the heck did that get in there? In my YouTube playlist, there is a meditation that I did in early November last year around chakra clearing. It's one of the meditations that I did where I've actually used my voice in toning. And this particular one is going to be helpful for you. Okay. Because it just popped into my head as I was looking at this. You'll understand why. So I'm going to share it up there so you can grab it and see it. So we've got your sacral chakra. We know where the sacral chakra is. So it doesn't surprise me you're having tummy issues. We've got, it's time for you to cut those cords again. You've got some cords that have either sprouted anew, or it's just time to open yourself and to just do some clearing out, cut off those cords, cut off those old stuff. February is all about karmic shit. And it is coming up, especially the last couple of weeks, it's coming up to be seen and heard and cleared. Okay? So it is time. It is time. This stuff has all come up for you to see. It's time for you to clear those fucking cords, get rid of them, get rid of the roots. You know, you've been through this process with me, so you know how to do this. If you don't, go back over our sessions, you'll see it. And, you know, if you can't remember, you can also ask Archangel Michael to help you clear it. And it does say, clear any old attachments to fear that stem from the past relationships, freeing you from destructive patterns. Okay? Tower moments happen when the old is crumbling and it is giving way for the new to come in. So this is why that card's coming up. This is why your chakras are playing up, because the next one we have is your throat chakra. Okay? The angels are helping you to lovingly speak your truth. So more than likely, you'll be finding that there's some stuff that you're requiring to say, not sure how to say it perhaps, and this is all stuff that's coming up. And within, oh shit, when did I learn theta? I can't remember if we actually did any theta healing sessions. So what I would suggest is in your meditation spaces, you can actually voice what you would like to say to the other person, and energetically they will receive it. You can do your cord cutting in that space. You can do, you know, this. I would prefer to go up to theta healing because that's where it's really potent, it's really fast, it's really powerful in that space. But certainly it is time. You have your base chakra. Now, this is why I shared that YouTube playlist with you, that playlist video, the meditation. Okay. Hi, Shwana. So your base chakra, choose only positive thoughts to describe your home, career, finances, as your words determine your outcome. What if you don't know? You know you can't say I don't know to me. We've worked together for a long time. Oh dear. So you do know. It's just that you're pretending not to know so that you don't have to deal with it. The collective rising in consciousness won't allow you to sit in that space anymore. That's why it's coming up. That's why it's crunchy. That's why it's like so loud in your world. It's time for you to connect back in with Pussy and to allow her to heal and guide you. Okay. Oh, we've said abso-fucking-lutely for a long time, haven't we, Sandra? Your next card is fairies. So this is you have a strong bond with the fairies, and your life purpose involves helping Mother Nature. So you do have that beautiful, deep, deep connection with Mother Earth and with the elementals. We know this. And they're asking for you to come back. She's not the word for it. It's the most PC word I can find right now. So your bond with Mother Earth, and that is also asking to come up and reconnect, please, because you've drifted a little. So please come back to the things, the simple stuff that works for you. And all your elemental stuff, they're there to help you. They're there to remind you of your magic and to be the space for you to be connected to the uniqueness that is you. Because you are amazing, you are beautiful, you are creative, you are loving. Oh my God, so loving with the people around you. And the fairies and the nymphs and the elves and all the things, they're there to help you and to assist you. Okay? See, look at my beautiful community. You have got this. And Julie, please take your own words and embody them. No, Sandra, you know that's not the truth. You'll only be in trouble with the people who are trying to control you. Interesting. This card has come out a few times tonight. It is receptive. So if you truly were receiving the messages from your sacral chakra, what would it be? If you were truly listening to the messages from your throat chakra, what would it be? If you were truly listening to your base chakra, your pussy, what would it say? What would those messages be? If you were truly connecting in with Mother Earth and the fairies and the elementals, what would they say? Because I think you'll find that they will have you back. And the reason why they're a bit cranky at the moment is because you haven't got theirs. Not to the extent that they require you to have. And the way you have their back is to listen, to nourish, to nurture. You know, I like asking questions. Given lots of homework today. Lots of home play. Because you guys asked, apparently. Alrighty, my dear. Thank you so much for your donation. Thank you, thank you, thank you for everything that you are, that you be. I'm just so grateful for you. They are cheering you on. All of your aspects, all the bits and pieces of you, all of your team, everything. Everything is cheering you on. It's all got you back. And it's up to you to receive them. Oh, my Lord. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay. Let me drink just a little bit more water and we'll head into our meditation. Done enough readings for tonight. And I appreciate you all. I'm so excited. I started planning my week off for around my birthday. Happy days. And the cool thing is it'll probably happen the week after my birthday. So that way my birthday's out of the way. It's actually not a birthday week off. It's just the week after my birthday. So funny. Oh, Sandra, stick around. I'm sure you'll enjoy this meditation. There's been a lot of elements around, not till April, but I like to be considerate of my manager and give them plenty of notice. But I also wish to work in with Alex and see if he can get some time off too at that same time. So we were looking at when the school holidays were and all that. So the school holidays basically start the day after my birthday. So that's exciting. And because I always have my Fridays off of my, the cleaning job, I actually naturally have my weekend as my birthday start of the Friday. Yay! So for those of you who want to go and investigate, you can figure that out for yourself. I like a little bit of a journey. Everybody likes a good Google stalk. All right. Take a lovely, big, deep breath in, my friends. Give your body a little bit of a stretch if you like. And now breathing out. Breathing in, bringing Mother Earth energy all the way up through your body. Breathing out, bringing Father Sky energy all the way down. Breathing up Mother Earth energy with the unconditional love all the way up. And bringing Father Sky energy and the gratitude for everything and everyone all the way down through your body, out through your feet, down to Mother Earth. Bringing Mother Earth and the unconditional love all the way back up again. And now Father Sky and the gratitude for everything and everyone all the way down. And now tuning in with your body, grabbing your sense of awareness and expanding it out beyond your body, out to the size of the room that you're in, expanding out your awareness in a big, beautiful bubble, greater than the size of the building that you're in, up into the sky, down into the earth, expanding out your awareness, greater than the country that you're in. Greater than the planet, expanding out your awareness, greater than our solar system, greater than the galaxies, and greater than the universes. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And keeping your awareness nice and expanded out, now focus on your body once again and grab your sense of allowance. Remembering that as we expand our sense of allowance, you go from being that tight, contracted little pebble at the bottom of everybody else's thoughts, feelings, and emotions river, being battered about and trying to protect yourself and being in survival mode. And your ego's thinking, yeah, we're doing a great job. While in the meantime, energetically being bruised and bumped and cut and broken. And now to expand out your allowance, greater than the room that you're in a lovely big bubble, greater than this building that you're in. And as you expand out, you become like the big fluffy cloud overlooking that raging river of everybody else's thoughts, feelings, and emotions. And you can see it for exactly what it is. From no point of view. It's just energy. That's all. Now expanding out your allowance beyond the size of the country that you're in, beyond the size of the planet. And now expanding out your allowance beyond the size of our solar system. And now the galaxies and the universes. And now expanding out your allowance beyond your awareness. Take a big deep breath in and allow your body to relax. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Because we've had so many aspects talking about receiving tonight, I'd like you to now focus on your toes. And I'd like you to now, in your mind, say, hello, beautiful toes. And see how the rest of your body responds to that. And wherever, if there is any moment, any spot in your body which gets tight and contracted, I'd like you to draw up Mother Earth energy through your heart and redirect it to that spot. So drawing up that beautiful opalescent light coming up through your body, through your heart, and go to that spot and completely surround it with beautiful, bright, white, opalescent light of unconditional love. Until it is gone. And when you end up taking a bit of a deep breath, you'll know that that has been processed. And now let's move on to the rest of the feet. Hello, beautiful feet. I am so grateful for you. Thank you. I love you. Again, have a look. Be aware of your body. See if there's any tension, any tightness anywhere. Bring that Mother Earth energy back up through and through your heart space and redirect it to that area. Completely surround it with that beautiful bright white opalescent light. And once you've taken that nice big deep breath, you'll know that that has gone. That resistance has shifted. You don't need to know what that resistance was about. It's enough to just acknowledge it, surround it with bright white opalescent light of unconditional love, and to let it go. There's no resistance reaction, no trauma or drama. Now we'll move up through your ankles. We say, hello, beautiful ankles. I love you. Okay, again, that beautiful bright white opalescent light comes up and curls, goes through the heart space and then curls around and completely surrounds that area if there is any. And now we'll tackle the shins and the calves together and we'll say, hello, beautiful shins and calves. I'm so grateful for you and I love you. Once again, send that beautiful bright white opalescent light to the area of your body if it has contracted or tensed up in any way, shape or form. Have some big, beautiful energies that are moving. Well done. Okay, now moving to your knees. Hello, beautiful knees. I'm so grateful for you. Thank you. I love you. Again, just check your body. Scan your body just quickly. And as we continue to move up and through, my awareness is that this process is going to get quicker. So even if those tense spots mean that your bright white opalescent energy has to go up through the heart and then back down again, it's totally okay. Just allow it to do that. Covering that tense, tight spot in that beautiful bright white opalescent light of unconditional love. And letting it go. Say hello, beautiful beautiful thighs. Thank you so much for everything that you do. I'm so grateful for you. I love you. Once again, bringing that bright white opalescent light up from Mother Earth through your heart space and curling around and covering any energies, any tightness that has cropped up in your body. Wonderful. Because this is just a light healing, we're going to tackle the pelvis as a whole. Okay, I'm not going to go through all the little bits. You can do that in your own time. So I'm going to say, hello, beautiful pelvis. Thank you so, so much for being with me and creating magic with me. I'm incredibly grateful for you and I love you. This pelvis area covers everything from essentially your waist down to your base chakra, from the side to the side, front to the back, and all the spaces in between. So again, checking in with your body. Is there any areas that have just gone a little bit tight, a little bit tense? Bring that beautiful unconditional love light. Surround that spot. Wonderful. And now we move up to the belly. And we say, I love you, belly. Hello. Thank you so much for all that you do for me. I'm so grateful for you. Because you work hard even when I'm sleeping. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Again, we're just checking in with our bodies, surrounding any of those tight, tense spots with unconditional love. Fabulous. Now coming up to our heart area, we say, hello, beautiful heart. I love you. And thank you. Thank you for keeping me ticking. Thank you for healing my body. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And again, we're scanning our bodies and checking for those tight, tense spots. And where if they come up, wrap that beautiful unconditional love around it, surrounding it with unconditional love, so that those fears, those resistances can be transformed and can leave your body. Fabulous. Coming up through our chest, with our breasts and our shoulders. Just do that whole lot all at once. Right through to the base of the neck. Say thank you, beautiful shoulders. Hello, beautiful chest. I love you. I'm so grateful for everything that you do, for shouldering the burdens, the things that I bring into my world. Thank you for always being there for me. And again, you're scanning your body for those tense and tight spots. Surround them with the unconditional love if they pop up. Fabulous. Well done. And now let's focus on our arms, from the top of the shoulder down to the wrists. So your upper arms, your elbows, your forearms. Just bundle them together and we say thank you so much, beautiful arms. Thank you, thank you, thank you for all the hard work that you do. The lifting, the carrying, the supporting of your hands. The hugging. That beautiful bright white light of unconditional love is surrounding any spots that have popped up in your body, which is making it more difficult for you to receive this depth of caring and love from yourself. Beautiful. Well done. Well done, well done. And now we're going to focus on the wrists and the hands and the fingertips all the way down. We'll say thank you so much and hello, beautiful wrists, hands and fingers. I'm so grateful for all that you do for me, the creative things, the tasks of driving, the feeding family and myself, taking care of everything and everyone around me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for showing me love and tenderness. And thank you for being so expressive. I'm so grateful for you. Again, you're checking your body for those energies as this comes up and tackling them. That gorgeous, beautiful, bright white light of unconditional love surrounding it. Basically giving it a huge energetic hug and soothing and loving that tension, that resistance away. So that you can receive and be receptive to receiving the unconditional love that you truly be. Now we focus on the throat and the neck. And we say, hello, beautiful throat and neck. I love you. And thank you for holding my head up, for giving me a pathway to breathe, for allowing me to be truly me and heard, allowing my voice to be heard. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And wrapping those spots that pop up with unconditional love, with that beautiful bright white light that's coming up from Mother Earth, curling through and flowing through your heart, and moving to surround whichever areas are popping up at the moment when you're connecting in and loving on your heart, on your throat, your throat and your neck. Beautiful. Now we'll just focus on the entire head, because we're all tired. Hello, my beautiful head and face and brain and subconscious and conscious mind. Hello, hello, hello. I love you all so very, very much. Thank you for absorbing knowledge, for keeping me safe, for being a space where I can be heard and seen, acknowledged, where we can create magic every single day in conjunction with the whole rest of this incredible, gorgeous body that I have. And again, if there's any spots that are popping up in your body that are going, oh, no, surround them with that gorgeous, bright, white, opalescent light. That's the way. Well done. You guys are total pros at this now. Well done, well done, well done. I'd like you now to place one hand on your heart and give it extra thanks and gratitude for the beautiful facilitation that it has provided you with today. Working in conjunction with Mother Earth and Father Sky, as Father Sky energy has continued to flow down and through every single cell and molecule of your body as you continued through this process today. I say thank you, thank you, thank you. It is done, it is done, it is done. And now I'd like you to imagine that you're standing underneath a big, beautiful crystalline waterfall. And the water is flowing over and through every cell and molecule of your body as it shifts and changes and removes and washes away any other little energies, any other little fragments that no longer serve you. And now stepping out onto a big, warm river rock where the warmth of Mother Earth is underneath your feet. And now breathing in, bringing Mother Earth energy all the way up once again. And breathing out, bringing Father Sky energy all the way down. And bringing Mother Earth energy all the way up. And Father Sky energy all the way down. And once more, Mother Earth with that unconditional love energy all the way up. And now Father Sky and the gratitude for everything and everyone all the way down. And when you're ready, please open your eyes. Remember to have some water. Enjoy this fresh set of energies coming through. Please be nurturing of your beautiful body. Pay attention when they start speaking with you. I look forward to contributing to you next week. Please tune in to the absolutely gorgeous conversation that is going to be happening with Karen and I. And I will still do a report for you, a weekly report, not within that chat, but it will be there. You will see it. And then I'll do a meditation as well, based on that weekly report for you. Okay? I adore you all, and I look forward to seeing you when I come back from my rest. Good night, beautiful ones. And until I see you next, be bold, be brave, be you, my beautiful ones, to go out, do something tasty for yourself. I adore you. I'm grateful for you. I'll see you next time.